What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. My name is Shaun Meehan, and joining me as always is my very best friend, Mr. Conor Lawler.
Seems too genuine, too nice. I'm now worried that something's about to happen.
It's the kind of person I am, Conor. What you see is what you get.
You're one of those nice guys.
No, not that. Not capital N, capital G.
Why don't women like me? I'm always approaching them in such a nice way.
Yeah, just if they smiled more, you know.
So this is Hero Zero. This is the show where we choose one comic book character every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, and we generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. Now, I normally choose DC characters, and Shaun, he normally talks a little bit about Marvel characters. Last week I broke the mold by talking about a Marvel character, but the only one I'll ever do other than Doorman.
True, still a bit pissed about that, but that's fine.
Well, you should have jumped on the bandwagon earlier. I got there first, sorry. But yeah, we talked about US Archer, which is a completely mental character that if you missed that episode, I'd recommend going back to listen to it for just comics are weird, and he's one of those. If it is your first episode, you don't have to do anything, just chill out. If it's your second or above, we'd really appreciate 5 stars, a like, a follow, a share. We also have a Patreon if you want to head on over there. And actually, I want to give a shout out to one of our patrons, Justin, who sadly, he mentioned that his dog passed away recently. But he sent us a message to say that he was listening to the show to cheer him up, and I was like, I feel like that's going to...
Now I'm doubly sorry, Justin.
No, he's double sad. So shout out to Justin, thank you for all the support over there. We said we'd give him a shout because he's just a legend in his own right.
And also that's a shit thing to have happen. We're very sorry.
Exactly.
God rest your dog.
And so Shaun, I'm not saying there's any pressure on this report, but I am saying when it's finished I am going to message Justin and maybe ask his opinion. Has it cleared up his grief?
Early doors here, I'm going to say I've hit this out of the park, Conor.
Early doors, I've solved all world hunger.
Yeah. So, I think I have an answer for this. What do you think? What's your favourite character that I've ever covered on Hero or Zero?
Don't say it, Shaun. Shaun, please. My favourite character we've ever covered on Hero or Zero, as you well know, is the Marvel legend that is the Ringmaster.
The Ringmaster indeed, Conor.
Yes!
A Ringmaster, a head of a circus, head of the Circus of Crime. And what's in the Circus of Crime? Other members. Yes. We're working through the whole fucking circus, baby.
I love the Ringmaster.
Well, today we are covering the Ringmaster's one of the other members of the circus, Princess Python.
I think what you've done here now, and I think it's clever, is you've done that salesman thing of like, you love Batman. Yeah. Look at Catman.
Well, now see Shazam.
Yeah, basically, you've played on my love of the Ringmaster, and now you're going to introduce different characters that I don't like as much as the Ringmaster, Shaun. Now, if anyone doesn't know, the Ringmaster is a Marvel character who runs a circus, and his grand goal in life, now, his superpower, he literally has superpowers, and his superpowers are he can convince anyone to do anything. He has mind control powers.
Originally the power was in his hat, then it was just in his eyes, and he could just do that.
So he just looks at someone and just can convince them to do anything. So you're thinking, Jesus, world domination. If you have that power,
easy.
You can just take over the whole world, just convince everyone to do anything you wanted. He says, no. He doesn't have those he uses it to do petty crimes for up to maybe $10 to $20 per person who comes to the circus for some reason. Yeah,
he basically he mind wipes all of the patrons and just steals whatever is in their wallets at the time.
There's a guy, it'd be like if someone got given the Hulk powers and then they decided, I might use it to open jars of pickles.
Yeah, I'm going to redo my yard this weekend. Like
it's a complete waste of the power. So you're saying he's got other people in the circus that he uses?
Yes, these are other people in the crew. Okay,
right. Okay.
And Princess Python First of all, I want to get it out of the way. No powers at all. She's just a regular snake charmer.
I don't think there's anything like a regular snake charmer.
It's your run-of-the-mill snake charmer.
You know how you're always at like a family event, you're like, oh, what are you doing these days? The old snake charming summit. I'm fucking at it, aren't I? Sure, look. Sure, it keeps the fucking bills paid, doesn't it?
That's it. She was born in Darlington, South Carolina, developed a snake charmer act, and uses a 25-foot python as just part of the act. She joined the Circus of Crime in its early days. She doesn't actually come into her own as a professional criminal until, you'll remember at one point, the Circus of Crime ousted the ringmaster. She was the ringleader.
I'll be honest with you, even back then I remember thinking that seems like the stupidest plan you could possibly come up with, because he's the only reason that Spider-Man hasn't shown up and broken all of your bones.
Interesting thing you say there, Connor, because the princess convinces the others to get rid of the ringmaster and renames the group as the Masters of Menace.
Why?
It's not circus themed anymore.
In my head, the ringmaster's more mad about the name change.
Of course he is.
He's like, get rid of me all you want, but keep the fucking tent up. I am not having that circus come down.
The Masters of Menace steal paintings from a Madison Avenue art gallery as part of their very own crime spree, until they run afoul of Spider-Man.
Oh, Jesus. Do any of them have any powers?
There is Clown, who... I think he's quite strong. They do have like a strong man as well in there. But none of them are a match for Spider-Man.
Well, who is? I mean, as we always have the rule in all Hero Zeros to do with Marvel, if you have a shit character, they have probably faced Spider-Man, and in reality, and then they normally face Hulk right afterwards, and they're surprised that they lose both of those fights.
Yeah, they're somehow Spider-Man returned and defeated us.
Yes.
So they run afoul of Spider-Man. However, Spider-Man is unwilling to hit a woman, and turns.
he gets the snake in a headlock.
And Zelda is also Zelda Dubois, Princess Python.
What a fucking name!
Great name, Zelda Dubois from Darlington. Also, very attractive Southern Belle lady.
Of course.
Spider-Man, he gets all flustered.
He's punching the snake while looking at his.
And then, so she's like, and it's working. She's like, chatting to Spider-Man.
She's charming him, is what you're saying.
Charming him.
She's charming his snake.
Connor, please, this is a family program.
It's a family show. I mean, it was sitting there. It was sitting there, Shaun.
No, but fair play. That was a good joke, actually.
No, but fair play. Shout to you. No, we're all fucking proud of you. Go on.
She tries to remove his mask, but he stops her in time, and she is defeated when Spider-Man tricks the python into a knot around her and then hands her over to the police.
Right, okay. So
Spider-Man runs and leaps and ducks and dodges until the snake is knotted around her.
A classic.
Move. Yeah. When they get out of prison, the Masters of Menace agree to rejoin the Ringmaster and his Circus of Crime.
Now, this is one of those moments where we ask, did they agree, or did he brainwipe them into thinking it was a good idea?
No, they agreed. They went... hat in hand, like, Ringmaster, we're real sorry. Could we come back to the circus?
Gosh, gee, Ringmaster, we're down on our luck.
So they rejoin the Circus of Crime. They then try and hypnotise the Avengers members, Hawkeye, Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch, into joining them, but fail. To
be fair, you would go for Scarlet Witch if you want any of them.
Of the three of the lads, yeah. She fights Princess Python fights hand to hand with the Scarlet Witch after trying to cover her eyes, because I think at the time Wanda had to have like direct eye line to the person to do magic.
They tried to nerf her a little bit because she's like way too powerful,
but loses when the Scarlet Witch uses magic to pour water on Princess Python, which means For some reason, Princess Python, it's like cold, so she can't whistle, and that's how she controls her snake. So her like teeth are chattering too much. So she
What a plan.
I know.
We'll just make her, I don't know, just fucking slightly drown her, and now she won't be able to get her snake.
It's like, just cut her jaw off. Like,
Jesus Christ, Shaun.
What? I'm just saying.
Should just kill her.
Just kill her, then she can't whistle. Kill the snake, at least.
Surely if you kill the snake, it's a much easier plan.
The circus, this is just a series of capers that the circus gets up to, by the way.
Okay.
They next try and steal a huge golden bull.
To what end? What's the value of the bull? Is it
heaps? So much.
Oh, think of a number. More.
And this is like the 70s.
So it's 70s more.
Yeah.
That's going to be like 20.
However, they need a new strongman to replace theirs, since their original strongman strained himself trying to lift an elephant. So
okay, hang on.
Yeah.
Go ahead. That they had a strongman who wasn't that strong.
He was like regular human strong.
like he was a big lad.
Yeah, like he was as strong as a man could be in the 70s.
That's pretty strong.
Pretty strong.
I just think of Popeye, but simultaneously, if he's fighting Hulk, you can't really throw the lad who's kind of muscly against the Hulk.
No, I don't know. All the steak and eggs in the world.
He can bulk all day and night, but the Hulk will rip him apart.
You can pump as much iron, but you don't have gamma in you.
Yes.
But so, in search of a strongman, recently, just so happens in comics, Thor had been stripped of his godly power, but still had superhuman strength.
Funny how that worked out.
So, they hypnotise him into stealing the massive golden bull. However...
Right, so now they've got Hulk on board, or sorry, not Hulk, Thor on board, and their grand plan is to help them steal a golden bull that we don't know the value of.
Yes.
Great.
And then Princess Python is trapped under the bull because it falls on her. And then Thor lifts it up, and then she now has the hots for Thor.
Who doesn't? Come on.
Who doesn't? Look at that man. And then when the police show up to arrest all the circus members, she's like, nah, we mind controlled Thor, he's innocent. Because she likes him so much, so she lets him off.
Oh, and Spider-Man's fuming.
Yeah. What the
fuck? My girlfriend.
In their next adventure, the circus disguises themselves as caterers in order to sneak into Avengers Mansion. And this is the entire reason, to disrupt the wedding of Yellowjacket and the Wasp. Just to be pricks.
I like how it's not even to end the wedding, or like to they just want to maybe have a bit of shithousery. You kind of have to respect the fact that they're like, look, we don't have any grand plan other than we want people to tut when we walk in and be like, what these fucking lads again? What the fuck do these want? Jesus.
We have to deal with this now, fuck's sake.
We're at a fucking wedding, lad. Come on.
So her giant python jumps out of the wedding cake and wraps itself around the Wasp. However, Yellowjacket, we don't know who Yellowjacket is at this point.
Oh, is it Thor?
No, it turns out to be Hank Pym, which, of course...
world-renowned lovely man in comic books, Hank Pym.
Lovely man. There'll never be any issues in that marriage at all.
Never, ever look up any comic books with Hank Pym if you want to keep this idea of him, please.
And so Hank Pym basically scuppers their plan by turning into Giant Man, yanking the python off of the Wasp and tying it around the ringmaster instead.
Not the ringmaster!
My boy!
My boy! You know how Spider-Man felt? That's how I feel about the ringmaster.
Princess Python tries to sneak away, only to be decked by a punch from the Wasp. Just fully punched her out.
I love the whole plan is just shithousery, and then they end up getting the shit kicked out of them. I think you used the right word earlier on, capers. They get involved in capers.
They're just on weird little adventures every so often.
They remind me of like the Flash's rogues. Like his rogues, lads, like just lads who are just there to cause shithousery.
Yeah, like there's, and it's the same with Ringmaster. There's no grand plan. There's no world takeover.
He just has a circus. He just kind of does this as ad hoc duties. This is like extracurricular stuff. He's like, we have to get home by 8. We have a show.
So, following the Civil War storyline, so she's popped up in various little stories over the years.
Yeah.
She's set out on her own and tried to take on Ironman immediately. That didn't go too well.
Great stuff.
But after Civil War, there were a bunch of supervillains and former supervillains were all at a funeral for Stiltman, who had died in the war.
He was the best of us.
He's the blurst of us.
He was the blurst of us. And we should have known when he brought stilts to a war that he wasn't going to win.
He's up high, you can't headshot him. And it was here that Zelda made the startling revelation that she had been married to Stiltman for a time.
What?
Yeah. She just it's very offhandedly said. Just like, oh yeah, we were married once. But it was for her benefit, right? That Stiltman had arranged, in the case of his death, they made a robot Doctor Doom to give her the belief that Stiltman had been respected by some of the major league supervillains.
So, Stiltman in debt is like, even a few years ago, she was so hot. I need to try and give it, like, she's the one that got away.
She needs to think I'm a big lad.
So, like, when I die, I want her, even though, like, she's well gone, she's my ex, I want her to walk in, everyone's like, this lad, Stiltman, he was the coolest. Everyone was Doom is terrified of him. Doom's over there shitting himself.
Doom respects Stiltman. So she also shared a sympathy dance with the Gibbon, who is just another D-list villain, I would say. Yeah. But at the end of this funeral issue, they all went to a bar for the wake, and who should be monitoring the situation but the Punisher, who sees a bar full of fairly weak supervillains
and immediately pulls out a shotgun.
Well, he blows it up.
You know what? I should have seen that coming.
Just the ultimate hater, Frank Castle.
If anyone, I don't know. Have we done a report on the Punisher? I think we must.
Years ago we did.
The Punisher is so funny because if he just shows up, you're like, oh, he's going to shoot somebody or blow somebody up. Like somebody's dead. Like there's no
a time when his wife and kid were brought back and then killed again. And there was no crime in New York for 3 days because everyone was terrified.
No, what was the villain we talked about a few weeks ago that broke him out of prison and then he threw him back in?
Oh, fucking God, what's his name? Boomerang.
The Boomerang helped break Frank Castle out of they're in prison together. Boomerang is a villain. He breaks out with Frank Castle, and in the minute they exit the prison walls, Frank Castle turns around and fucks him back into the wall.
It's like, you did just commit a crime because you broke me out of prison, so
you're lucky I didn't kill you. You did.
So it was mentioned that everyone in the bar had to be treated for 3rd-degree burns after this. It was also revealed that Princess Python was blinded in the explosion. However, she married the Gibbon in order to be included on his health insurance.
Her whole life is just a series of, I'm going to marry this person because of something else.
Pretty much, yeah. Gibbon also buys her a new python because her original python had gotten sick and died. So it's got a new python now. And then later, the Gibbon admits that even if Zelda loved him in the past, currently she's fed up with how much of a loser he is. And so they break up.
She doesn't have much luck.
No, but she does fairly well out of her husbands, you know?
She has a lot of husbands that just don't seem to last too long.
Just get the health insurance and then tip on.
Yeah, then she tips on. She gets, I don't know, some sort of residency. She becomes an American citizen. Then she kind of moves on as well.
Yeah. In terms of powers and abilities, she is a skilled snake dancer and trainer of snakes. She was able to guide her python's actions through whistling and subtle movements. And also, the greatest ability of all is seduction. She possesses a strong stage presence and often employs this is the Marvel Wiki's words and not mine, her feminine wiles against her opponents.
Oh no.
The most dangerous power of all.
Oops,
women.
looks like I dropped another pencil. Tor.
Oh, is it? It's getting hot in here.
What's going on, Spider-Man? Looks like I forgot to bring my clothes.
I just love because it's like 17-year-old Peter Parker just being really on the back foot with a woman.
He's shitting himself.
And in terms of weapons, various trained snakes and occasionally a regular taser.
Look, a taser's good. I mean, she probably gets a few creeps coming her way.
Because of the feminine wiles.
Because of the wiles. They're driven mental.
Because of the creeps, Connor.
You know, there you go. It's not her fault. She's allowed to use the wiles, Shaun. It's
100%. Let people be who they want to be. Fuck you, Connor.
You're trying to throw me under the bus.
What's your deal with women?
Someone just clipped that.
It's the new intro.
We're hearing some bad things about you, Connor. Things are from Shaun.
Out of context, you sound like a horrible, horrible man.
True. I love the idea that she comes up. Maybe Thor, though. I don't know if Thor might be too much. You can't go for a god. Even the wiles, I don't think works with him.
No, but I think, I feel like there is some. I feel like an Ant-Man that might work on.
Oh yeah, just you need to pick your level. I think you can't go fully A, but if you just went like B1, you'd get somebody.
Yeah, there is just as a lead up for potential future Circus of Crime members. We do have Strongman,
who doesn't appear very strong because he hurt himself lifting an elephant.
Yeah, the Human Cannonball, who is regular man dressed like a missile who fires himself at things.
It's kind of a one and done power.
Yeah, the Great Gambonos, just regular trapeze artists.
Just flippy.
Yeah, Livewire, who is... What's Livewire about? He was apparently accidentally eaten by one of her snakes.
Accidentally.
Oh, he has an electrified cable that he fights with. That's Livewire.
There you go, perfect.
Raja, who is an elephant trainer and rider from India. Sure, that's handled very well.
That's definitely culturally perfect. That's really going to be tackled in a sensitive way.
And then Fire Eater, who can consume flame and then project it from his mouth without suffering injury. And he can also use Inferno discs, where he throws fire in disc form.
Okay.
Way more powerful than any other member.
Seems like he's way too good for that group, firstly. And secondly, the idea that those people joined together and were like, let's take out the guy with the brain control.
Yeah.
He's our weak link.
We could do without him. But trapeze lads, come with me.
Doing backflips.
Yeah. Fuck, they are fun to watch though.
Fuck, they are pretty good at those flips.
They are performers at the end of the day.
Absolutely great at parkour. That'd look so cool on YouTube.
Did you ever see Casino Royale? Yeah, start of that. Yeah.
They're like, Ringmaster, what do you bring? He's like Robin Superman. No, Robin Spider-Man.
No, Superman somehow.
He'd rob Superman as well, to be fair. He'd just rob all of them.
Superman's an idiot. Of course he'll get his mind
Scarlet
controlled.
Witch is in the crowd. He's like brain controlling her, and they're like, we can't do anything with this, Ringmaster. You're an idiot.
I can't stress enough how happy I am that you love Ringmaster. Like... We touched on it, but it is Connor's favourite report that I've ever done.
It's just, I've never seen powers used in a worse way, but you have to respect that he has one love, and it's a circus.
Yeah. All of his stuff is to keep his circus going at the end of the day.
He doesn't even have any plans past, let's make this week's rent for the circus.
Yeah. I think he runs for mayor at one point, but he doesn't use his powers to win the election.
And he can brain control people.
Yeah, on a mass scale. He did it to whole circus audiences.
No, but Shaun, that would be kind of rude. That would be seen as...
That would be dishonest.
That would be dishonest. He's not a dishonest man. He's here for a circus and a circus only.
He wants a fair election. He doesn't want a media circus, Connor.
He's all about democracy, but he will rob you of maybe 20 to 30 quid if you're in a circus of some sort.
But you're seeing a circus on a Wednesday night, you have 20 or 30 quid.
You definitely. And if your child is there, he's going to steal the candy floss with them. But it's his. He brought it. He has to pay for that. He has to bring all the food in. That stuff costs money. The trucks bringing the tent.
This man has elephants to feed.
He could go to the bank and just convince them to give him all the money in the safe. But no. There's no joy in that. We want good, honest, blue collar crime. He could literally go to the whole stock market, convince them all to give him all of their money, crash the entire economy, and just make out with $10 trillion. But there's no need. He doesn't have time. He has a show to do.
Conor, he's a simple man, like myself.
Very simple, like yourself.
Oh, something was said, not good.
If you like what you heard here, we have done hundreds of other characters for Hero Zero, covering just a wide array of heroes and zeros from DC, Marvel, all sorts of stuff. And we started a new thing that we mention, are they a hero or a zero at the end of each episode?
Oh, we could. I think that was the original idea of this show.
We were asked to bring that back during the Patreon hangout, if I remember correctly, a few weeks ago.
Do we both have to do it, or is it whoever's receiving the report has to make the call?
Maybe whoever's receiving the report has to make the call. So
the floor is yours.
Say she is a zero.
Because she's a woman. Is that what you're saying? I don't support it, Conor, but it's your opinion.
I was gonna say that she's a zero because she turned on the ringmaster.
To me, of course.
That is the greatest crime of all.
It's like when Judas turned on Christ.
Basically the same, if you ask me, in terms of historical significance, yes. So, to me, zero, and not because she's a woman, Sean, okay?
Alright, he protests a lot, let me tell you.
You're like, I'm reading between the lines here, Conor. It's not good for you.
Wink.
Why are you winking at me?
Nah, don't worry about it. Wink.
You don't say wink.
No, sorry. Just so everyone knows I'm winking, you know?
So yeah, we've done so I would officially say zero, but we can just move on and say, if you like what you heard, as I said, there's loads of other characters. If we haven't done one that you really like, send us a message. We're happy to do them. We can add them into the pile. You can follow us at all the social media and Blue Sky as well now, so we're seeing a lot of engagement over there. If you want to head on over, we have a Patreon, as I mentioned, that we have like extra content, bonus content, exclusive movie reviews over there, only for the patrons.
Still time to submit any movies you want us to talk about for this month's review as well. For
the January review will be coming up in the next 2 weeks. And other than that, you can just tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun.
And we shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.